Something close. We're live. Since it's 6:30 p.m. We'll call this July regular council meeting, July 11, 2023 to order. The Township of Black River Madison acknowledges the Abitibi and the Sinipic Nation traditional territory. We live, play, and work here together, and together we shall build a strong and inclusive community. Also, just a short reminder to all in attendance that council meetings are recorded and made available to the public on the township website for review. Got a resolution, confirmation of the agenda. Need a mover and a second, or I got Councilor Schmidt and Councilor Burr.
Can I read the motion, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, please.
It was moved by Councillor Schmidt and seconded by Councillor Drewer that the agenda for the regular council meeting of July 11th, 2023 be approved as printed.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
If council entertain deleting the closed meeting section of this regular council meeting, which is section 13, A and B.
So the resolution will be as amended. Any objections to removing the closed? Don't see any objections, so we'll remove the closed from there and do the resolution as amended. All those in favor of the amended resolution? Thank you all. And is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest and or general nature thereof? Seeing none, we'll move ahead. We got the adoption of minutes. Mover to seconder again. I got, yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got Councilor Dattery and Councilor Schmidt. Make sure everybody's name gets included. Thank you.
Moved by Councillor Gattery and seconded by Councillor Schmidt that the following minutes are hereby adopted. Minutes of a regular council meeting held June 27th, 2023, and the minutes acknowledged are minutes of a committee of adjustment meeting held June 21st, 2023.
Questions or concerns regarding the resolution? Seeing none, I'll ask for a vote. All those in favor of the resolution? Thank you. Seeing no objections, carried. Thank you.
Yes.
One more time, we got a consent agenda here. We need to move in a second to Councilor Brewer and Councilor Schmidt.
It was moved by Councillor Drewer and seconded by Councillor Schmidt. Be it resolved that the consent agenda items as listed on the July 11th, 2023 council agenda be received as the motions contained therein be approved and recorded as listed below.
All those in favor of the resolution? Seeing no objections, carried. Now we'll move into delegations. And we'll welcome Mr. Wilson to take the floor. I'm up. Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
This is
Good. Oh, just a second, 1 second. The clerk's just keeping me in check. Absolutely. We're just about ready. So what are the procedures? Yeah, carry on.
So good evening, folks. Hope all are well. I'm here this evening.
Steve, you can stand maybe.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I guess you can't stand there. It'll be in the light, right? So anyways,
Mr. Wilson, I'm so sorry to keep interrupting you. Just make sure you speak to the owl, that way everyone can hear.
do what?
The hour, yes.
That, great, yes,
It's a
So
little.
this thing.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
AI, favorite thing in the world. Anyway. Back to the beginning. Good evening, folks. Hope all are well. I'm here this evening to address the fact that council meetings should be open to the public for observation. I know measures were taken during COVID to allow live streaming, YouTube, or listening in on the phone. COVID's over. Restrictions have been lifted. So, by still not making meetings open to public attendance to observe only, you're shutting out a large number of residents. Example, people without internet, people like myself who choose not to communicate via the internet. The public library is not a very good option because meetings start at 6:30, library closes at 7. And I'm not saying that you're not complying with the municipal act as it stands now with those measures. But with the recent reactions the community has had, opening meetings for public observations in facilities suitable for people to choose to go and observe would help immensely in rebuilding a loss of trust between the community, council, and administration. Where was I? Who choose to go and observe would help immensely for people. Oh, sorry. Trust among people, because it could be misunderstood that this insufficient facility space appears to look like you're hiding from the public, even if you're not. I've given you an ombudsman list of 10 top tips for municipal officials. They're all very important, but I happen to feel in the situation we're in right now, number 9 and number 10 are of the utmost important in this situation. So, bottom line, short and sweet. My question is, when will facilities be available for council meetings that if I get home from work at 5:30 and 6 o'clock, decide to come and see what's going on, why can't I? And I also feel it should be one of your top priorities to try to fix the rift and the mistrust that's been created between council, administration, and the people of our lovely little town. So when would I be able to come to a meeting without having to ask permission? I know what I'm asking.
That's a really good question. Because as you can see, our facilities just aren't suitable at the moment. And we're working on a plan, it's just not there.
And what kind of time frame are we looking at?
Again, I'd love to give you a definitive answer and I can't.
So then if I choose to come to council meetings, if nothing else, to learn the processes and procedures that you follow, in the event that maybe I'll be interested in throwing my name in the hat in 3.5 years. When's it gonna happen? 2 months before I'm able to put my name in, or in the next 6 months?
Just a quick question, is that the end of your presentation per se?
Oh, this, yeah, sorry, yeah,
No, I just wanted to ask that question.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get into a too long of a back and forth, that's not really the normal process. So I definitely would just like to say on behalf of council that I appreciate your presentation and your concerns.
Mhm.
And I think at this point in time, it would just be great if we get an opportunity to maybe respond properly to your questions.
Yes.
Because I think you've laid out your situation quite concisely,
Mhm.
and we know what your issues are, and we'll see if we can find a way to address them. I know that doesn't really give you the answer you want to hear tonight.
Well, all I can respond to that is hopefully in a timely manner.
We will give you an answer in a timely manner, whether or not it's going to be exactly what you want to hear. We will definitely give you an answer in a timely manner. Whether it comes from staff or myself or from that.
Well, once again, it would be a great step forward to try to cure that loss of trust. Because that's what I keep hearing.
I thank you very much for your concern and your information.
So I will be expecting some kind of a response as to when facilities will be available that I can come whenever I choose to.
Absolutely, we'll get you some kind of response. Councilor Schmidt or Councilor Brewer, have any questions?
I don't have any questions. I understand completely where you're coming from. Yeah.
Steve, you are aware we are gonna have open forum meetings in Raymore, Wagonge, and in Shillington in the coming months. Next month is in Raymore,
Yes,
and then Shillington, I believe, is in September,
yes.
and VG's in
VG,
September, yeah,
fine.
Wagonge is in September, and then we're going to Shillington. We are totally behind you. We all agree. We would like to have open forum meetings. So
So,
it's to find a place where it would be suitable to be able to do it. If you know of a place that we can do this,
I can suggest several facilities in town, but that's up to you folks.
you know, that's one thing we've already discussed, and we are 100% behind you.
Well, then, I guess I'm done here and proposing or saying what it is that's I feel needs fixed. And
Just
Louise?
before you go, Councillor Gadry, did you have any questions?
Yes, and I have no questions, but I just want to say I agree with you. It's just a matter of finding a suitable location.
well, apparently I'm not making, she's not allowed to make suggestions as to where you can right now, but I got about 3 or 4 on my head that I believe would work fine. So basically, I'll have you folks leave you to your business. Best of luck in it. And I hope to get a response in a fairly timely manner.
Thanks, Steve. Yes, Councillor Smith?
Could I just make a note of the 3 suggestions you have?
What?
The 3 suggestions you have, Where would
Earl
we-
Club right across the road,
the curling club, okay,
the arena, the school,
and the school, like, the public school, okay.
sure they would be. And you, some of those come with cost and other ones you guys own, so.
Okay, so we'll add that, we'll look into every
Oh,
possibility.
sorry,
And yeah,
and there's also the library, but I heard there was issues with it.
library. All right, so if you leave this with us, we'll have an answer as soon as we can.
Very good.
Thanks,
Thank
Steve.
you very kindly for your time, folks. I would like to stay with the meeting, but.
Okay. Very good. So we'll move on in our agenda and. And then I'd like to welcome Jessica from the KDCDC as a delegation regarding the tourism project in our region. Jessica, the floor is yours and welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate that. As you mentioned, my name is Jessica Lafreniere. I am the Executive Director for Kirkland and District Community Development Corporation. We service the area just south of Englehart, north to Valgagne, east to the Quebec border at Kearns, and out west to Matachewan. So about a year ago, with the support from the Federal Economic Development Agency of Northern Ontario, or better known as FedNor, we proposed a project to promote tourism in our own backyard and to help support the communities that we service. So we worked in collaboration with our communities in order to bring forward what we call the KDCDC tourism website, or an asset inventory database of accommodations, eateries, events, local clubs, our communities, and just natural resources that we can utilize, attract people to our area, and also promote people who are just coming to visit family or coming for a special occasion if they're looking for something to do with their families. So I'm going to share my screen with all of you. Hope this goes off without a hitch, and just take you through the website. I won't take too much of your time, but please feel free to ask me any questions as we proceed. Okay. So when you first go to the website, kdcdctourism.com, we hired a videographer. We also hired a professional photographer to welcome you to the page. Now, we didn't want to specifically separate each community because each community is of different size and has different opportunities for individuals. So when you first come to the website, we organized ourselves as activities on snow, activities on land, on ice, and on water. So we kind of did it by season in that case. So people or individuals who are looking at coming to the area can go through to see what we have to offer locally. So for example, if we go to activities on land and we click learn more, in the hopes of our internet connection speeds up. We talked about that we have camping and hunting, golfing. You could visit the museums, the farms and sanctuaries, different recreational facilities that our KDCDC region has to offer. So we discussed different hiking trails that there are in our area. We discussed four-wheeling, and then we listed important information for four-wheeling. We discussed a variety of camping options for individuals, different hunting and safety tips, and local outfitters that we reached out to. Golf, And then it goes down to plants and animals. So you have your farms and sanctuaries. And that's the way we wanted to distribute it because we wanted to be inclusive of every community. Now, if you do go and click on a specific area, it does bring you back to the communities that you are searching. So if we go all the way down on our front page here. So every community, there are a few missing. We have reached out to the website developer with respect to that, but you can click on that community and it'll bring you back to their local website, as well as any of the restaurants that have a website or the accommodations pages that have a website. So for example, these are the restaurants. We have it displayed by region at the top, but then again, you can see where they're located, their phone numbers. So we wanted to be really inclusive and collaborative with all the communities that we serve and just bring awareness as to what we have to offer in our region. We found that our communities are small. So individuals aren't going to go to Englehart, Charlton, Larder Lake, Kirkland Lake, Black River, Matheson, Val Gagne. They're not going to go to each individual's area. We wanted to create a one-stop shop for everyone that they could bring everyone together and they would be able to look. And then if they need to go specifically into each community, the links will bring you back. We didn't include a lot of events that weren't staples. So if the event is a staple event, then it was included because the website itself doesn't have ongoing funding. So it will be updated on a semi-annually to a quarterly basis. So we kept it very generic in that sense. But you will see that the Matheson October Beer Fest is highlighted on here. Again, it'll bring you back to their Facebook page if they're looking for information more specifically for that. And again, we talked about the Matheson Fall Fair, the Englehart Adult Slow Pitch Tournament. So if there is anything that is missing that is that doesn't change on a regular basis, or that is a staple of the communities, please reach out to us and let us know. We definitely want to include it. If the information is no longer relevant and has changed, please again, let us know because we want to have it removed. But we didn't want to, like I say, put on events that continuously have movement only because of the lack of updating that is going to occur. So that we really had to be specific in what we were choosing. So does anybody have any questions? I'm just gonna stop that for a minute so I can see all of you.
Councilor Smith or Councilor Brewer, any questions?
No questions.
No questions.
Great website.
Yes, it is good.
Okay, Councilor Gadd, I'm sorry. Keep forgetting you're on the screen.
No, I don't have a question at this time. I do like the idea of the website though. That's very good.
Yeah, we also included, and I was in the community a little while back, we got signage and promotional material. So everyone that was a part of our website got like a little sticker to let people know in the communities that they're part of this. It has the website on it. So we're really hoping that it'll just drive economic development in the regions that we serve. I hope you all like it. I hope you can promote it. And like I said, we're definitely open to suggestions. Any edits that need to be made, please feel free to reach out to us and we'd be more than happy to make those changes.
Jessica, I just wanted to make one comment. I do appreciate you taking your time to inform our council of this initiative. And at the same time, also mention that I was going to ask you a question, but I see you've answered already by having each community's kind of logo there as a simple way for people to look for events in those areas.
Yes, absolutely. Everybody that we collaborated with this is included and has representation.
I don't think there's any further questions, Jessica, so unless there's something you'd like to add, we'd just like to thank you for your presentation.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And like I say, just reach out to me if there's anything at all. Take care.
Please stay in touch with us. Thank you.
I will.
Thank you.
Okay. Move on. Interesting. I guess the next item is now council has to listen to me again. It's just it's gonna be a very, very short and sweet verbal report on the Phenom conference, which I apologize to council for not having it even earlier, but never thought to actually put it on the agenda so that it was actually there. I mean, basically, the short and sweet part is the Phenom event is an excellent event to actually link with the rest of the municipalities in northeastern Ontario especially. But the disappointing part that I found in it is that, like, as far as ministerial opportunities, they were very limited. They had one small session, which they called a bear pit, which wasn't really a bear pit. There was 3 ministers there. There was the Minister of Health, Minister Jones, who I actually had the opportunity to sit and talk with last night. And which I had more time with her last night for sure than I did at Phenom. And then Minister Mulrooney from MTO, and then Minister Clark from Municipal Affairs. And I just wanted to make a comment that Councillor Brewer actually stood up and presented a question to the little mini bear pit regarding Highway 11 safety, and which was well received by the audience, I think, because I think it's an issue that everybody in Northeastern Ontario is concerned with. And I also made an effort to make the 3 ministers in attendance, especially Minister Mulrooney, the issue with our road situation and the amount of roads and the cost to maintain them. But there wasn't much that came out of that, other than, again, once you start circulating around the conference, it seemed many of the rest of the participants in the other municipalities have the same concerns, and we're very happy that we at least raised both issues. And there was several good presentations. Of course, they made presentations. The main they did make a presentation on healthcare and some of their initiatives of their plans, which was interesting, but it wasn't anything really radical and new. And of course, then the other one was the catch and release program on trying to get the federal government to change some of the bail rules and try to stop the in and out process that happens with people being charged with things and basically being released in time to go break the law again. That was a good initiative. And Councillor Brewer, was there anything that really spun out of your mind at that event that was really good?
Minister Jones did mention about the provincial government looking into the privatization of clinics for people, instead of having doctor's offices, have these clinics with the PSWs, RPNs, you know, that type of thing. So that's something
They're working on it.
they're working on it. That's, as she put it, it's a work in progress. But my comment to Minister Mulroney, this is something I know it hits home for a lot of people here in the north, is Highway 11, which has also been adopted as a highway of death. I did clue her into that, and that something has to be done. Something has to change with this highway. We can't afford to lose any more people. And I brought that to her, and I didn't let her go on it. She answered the question that Highway 11 is high up on Doug Ford's radar. So I have sent emails, and if anybody else in the community wants to jump in on this, let's continue hammering her with emails about this highway. And let's get it fixed, because enough's enough.
But anyway, that basically covered my highlights of Phenom. Like I said, Phenom is an excellent spot to interact with the rest of the communities in the Northeast, which we have a lot in common with. But the one thing that I find, like, I was disappointed in, is that there's not enough interaction with government ministries. And that's a little disappointing from that perspective. But we still had good opportunities. And that basically covers everything I had to say, unless council has any questions. And I don't see any. I'm sure everybody wants me just to keep moving. And the next item, I think our next item is we've got a bylaw, right?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
And I'm gonna move her and a seconder. We have Counselor Brewer and Counselor Gavin.
It was moved by Councillor Brewer and seconded by Councillor Gadry. That bylaw number 2023-41 being a bylaw to adopt an IT security policy. Be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed this 11th day of July, 2023.
Could you read that before we look? It's only 90 pages, I believe it's. That's the first one? It's only. Okay. Anyway, I'm sure there was, we could have questions and concerns out there, but I'm sure everybody's read it. And it's a very wordy document and requires a lot of study, but it's been well vetted, so I'll ask for a vote on the resolution. All those in favor? Seeing no objections, carried. Second, right?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, the second bylaw, so we need another mover and a second, Councilor Brewer, Councilor Schmidt.
It was moved by Councillor Brewer, seconded by Councillor Schmidt. The bylaw number 2023-40 being a bylaw to adopt an acceptable use of IT policy. Be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed this 11th day of July, 2023.
All those in favor of the resolution? Seeing no objections, carried. And then we'll move into unfinished business. It's regarding the Waterbank Church Heritage Follow-Up Report.
I'll need a mover and a seconder, Mr. Mayor.
Now, Councilor Brewer and Councilor Gadry.
Was moved by Councillor Brewer. It was seconded by Councillor Gadry. That council acknowledges the receipt of report EA-OT-2023-004 as information. And whereas the Waterbank Church has been previously designated as a heritage site due to its significant historical and cultural value, that council directs staff to commission and install signage at the St. Anne's Waterbank Church, clearly identifying it as a designated heritage site in alignment with established heritage site identification standards and regulations.
Any questions or concerns regarding the resolution? Seeing none, I'll ask for a vote. All those in favor of the resolution? Seeing no objections, carried. Thank you very much, Wendy, for your work on that report. No other business and no closed session. Yes, Madam Clerk.
So, Mr. Mayor, before we adjourn the meeting, it would be great if we could actually pick a few dates for next week to hold a special meeting for the in-camera meeting that was deleted tonight in order to take that up next week.
Yes, I agree, because there's several items in that in-camera session that are kind of time sensitive and very important. And council should be 100% aware, and we're just trying to pick some dates when we made sure that the majority of council was here. And based on what I understand, if we can pick a date next week that's suitable, then there'll only be one councillor missing, which I think is reasonable.
Go ahead, Mr. Mayor, so.
One of the council, we've reached out to two of the councils that we know would be available at some point next week. And the only dates that we're coming back with is either the 18th or the 21st. The 18th is a Tuesday and the 21st is a Friday.
That works, what time?
18th. Councilor Gadry, does the 18th work for you?
Yes,
Well, what works at the time? 6:30?
6:30.
6:30 or standard time?
yes.
Okay, and then I think that's what the plan will be, is that we're gonna meet next Tuesday at 6:30 and have a special meeting. Gives the clerk and the CEO to have everything prepared and no proper notification. So if there's nothing further, and I don't believe there's nothing else on the agenda. So we have one last final resolution. Mover to seconder again, got Councilor Schmidt and Councilor Gadry.
It's moved by Counselor Schmidt, seconded by Counselor Gathering, that this regular meeting of council is hereby adjourned at 7 p.m.
All those in favor of the resolution? Seeing no objections, carried. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks again for zooming in, Louise. Appreciate it.